1.8 million immigrants are waiting for their permanent resident card for the United States.
Meta, Facebook's parent company, which laid off 11,000 people.
H1B workers last year. Data from the Economic Policy Institute shows those same companies have laid off 85,000 workers in 2022 and early 2023.
You did everything right, studied hard, landed the job, moved abroad. But now you feel stuck. Have you ever felt like your life is on pause? Not because of lack of ambition, but because of your visa won't let you live freely. A good job, a nice home, but an invisible cage. That's the reality for many NRIs on work visa. In this poll, 81% people felt that they're trapped by visa. That's a huge. Here is a poll that was conducted on our platform where a lot of people felt they have been trapped by the work visas due to decades-long green card backlog, travel restrictions, career lock-ins, and so on. Hi, this is Avinash here, and in today's video, we will break down why so many people feel stuck from travel restrictions, career restrictions, to green card backlogs across 6 different categories and what you can actually do about it. Let's dive in. First, career restrictions. Let's start with the career. If you're on a work visa, like a H1B, your entire stay depends on your employer. Lose your job, you have 60 days to find a new role or leave the country. When we look at the H1B holders by nationality, Indians are the largest H1B holders. Approximately 72% of the H1B holders are Indians. Next, the layoffs. This is the trend in the last 1 year from 2024 to 2025. And when you lose a job, your visa is at risk and your stay is also at risk. And that causes a lot of concern. Second point, you can't take a break to refresh or reset. For many people, taking a short break to reflect or recharge is normal part of their career. But if you are on a work visa like H1B, that luxury doesn't exist. Quitting your job, even for a short break, means losing your legal status. That means there is no room to pause, breathe, or reset without risking everything. Burnout is real, but your visa doesn't care. Next point, no time to upskill or reboot. The same thing. Want to take a few months to learn a new skill, transition to a new field, or go back to school? That's nearly impossible without jeopardizing your visa. Since your visa is tied to your employment, most people can't take time off to upskill or change the careers because you're busy with your work, family, and so on. The result, many people keep pushing forward in outdated roles instead of evolving. Next one, play safe with your job choices. Startups might sound exciting. High growth companies can offer great roles, but many visa holders avoid them. Why? Because they might not sponsor visas or they consider very risky bets. What if startup fails or gets acquired or shut down? The result is conservative career path, not necessarily aligned with your passions or ambitions, but chosen simply for survival. Are you stuck in the same job for years? Even if you're unhappy at work or ready for a change, you might still say, why? Because the green card process is tied to your current employer. Switching jobs could delay your I-140 approval and force you to restart the process again. Some people stay in the same role for several years, not because they love it, but because changing jobs could mess their long-term immigration plans. And the last one in career issues, switching jobs is almost as a legal project. Let's say you want to switch jobs, you need a new employer willing to sponsor your visa, file a H1B petition, and wait for the approval. This can take weeks or longer, and there is always some risk. If the transfer is denied, you're suddenly out of status. So, from a career decision, it's a legal gamble. And so, most of the people might stay put at their current job, then switching the jobs because of the legal issues. And the second dimension is travel restrictions. For most people, booking a trip abroad is just a matter of finding cheap tickets, packing bags. But for NRIs, work visa travel comes with an anxiety. You can't leave the country on a whim, not without considering your visa status, stamping requirements, and re-entry risks. Every international trip becomes a calculated decision, whether missing a single document or a misleading rule can jeopardize your entire life abroad. When you're visiting a family or a wedding back home, people consider multiple times before booking those tickets. The second one with the travel restrictions is the limited availability of visa stamping appointments. It's not just the risk, it's the process. US consulates in India and other countries often have massive backlogs. Appointments for visa stamping can be unavailable for months. This means you might not even get a chance to attend an interview when you need it. Some NRIs have to cancel their travel plans, miss weddings or funerals, even postpone urgent medical trips just because they couldn't get the visa slot. That's a real emotional toll. Let's talk about the third dimension, side hustles and freelancing. H1B holders can only work for their sponsoring employer. That means your career path is essentially locked in. Want to consult on a side, help a friend startup, or build your own app? Legally, you can't. The H1B visa is highly restrictive. Any income you earn must come from the employer and from that employer alone. You can't even earn money from your side hustles, even if it's completely unrelated to your job. This shutdowns opportunities that others in the US often take for granted. It's not just a limitation, it's a barrier to financial freedom, creative growth, and entrepreneurships. Here is a stat where H1B holders felt that the creativity is limited, and this is about 83% people who felt that way. Now let's talk the big elephant in the room, green card backlog. If you're from India, the green card backlog isn't just frustrating, it's life-defining. Over 1.2 million Indians are currently stuck in the employment-based green card queue, making the wait almost decades for getting a permanent resident status. This means you're spending the prime of your life, your 30s, 40s, and even 50s on a temporary work visa. You can't plan long-term. You can't freely change the jobs. Your kids risk aging out. When they turn 21, meaning they lose their dependent status, they have to be self-deported or find their own visa. It affects your ability to buy a home, invest, grow professionally, and feel rooted. This backlog doesn't delay paperwork, it delays life. Dreams get put on hold, and family lives in limbo. And the worst part, there is no clear end in sight. Now let's talk about the family dependency. Your spouse, children are also tied to your visa. It's not just your career and legal stays on the line, your entire family is affected. Most spouses who come on H4 visa, they can't work legally unless they have reached certain milestone in the green card process or secured an employment authorization card, H4 EAD. This means years of sitting at home, putting careers on pause, and dealing with frustrations of being qualified but unable to contribute professionally. It affects self-worth, mental health, and families' financial stability. Children, too, live in uncertainty. When they grow up calling your current country as the home, but their legal rights for staying in that country depends entirely on your visa. Once they turn 21, they age out of dependent status and are required to find their own visa or leave the country altogether. One layoff doesn't just impact your paycheck, it threatens your spouse's future, your kids' education, and your entire family's ability to stay together in the country you have built life in. Now, let's talk about the last one, which is the emotional toll. This constant uncertainty causes real mental strain. You're always planning your life in this 2 to 3 year visa windows. For many NRIs, this isn't just a visa issue, it's a life issue. Every decision, big or small, is filtered through this question: will my visa allow it? This emotional limbo, always needing to prove your worth, renew your status, and fear of the consequences of the layoff, takes a toll over the years. This is an important one. So, what can you do as an NRI? Accept these limitations for another 5 years, 10 years, or decide it's time to explore other paths. Feeling stuck is temporary. Being stuck, that's a choice. What's your next move? Let's assess your situation. Rate each of these from 1, which is worst, to 10, which is best. First, job freedom. How much of flexibility you have in your career? And you can rate it from 1 to 10. Travel flexibility. How flexible are you that you can go out of country whenever you need it, and how do you rate yourself? Side hustle options and how much important it is to have that kind of flexibility. Family stability, depending on your kids' age, depending on your spouse career opportunities, what is the family situation, and rate accordingly. And emotional well-being, at the end, how well you feel, the anxiousness about the temporary and the layoffs. This is the emotional well-being where you can rate. And after you rate, add up your total score. If it's below 30, your visa is heavily limiting you. 30 to 50 means you have some flexibility. 50 plus, you're doing okay, but you could be doing better. So based on the scores, here are your options. Option 1, stay and adapt. If you stay, optimize your status. Talk to your employers about perm labor certification, EB1, any special cap exempt roles, fight for every advantage. Option 2, explore alternatives. Countries like Australia, Germany offer fast PR. Remote jobs or intra-company transfers can keep your income high while you escape the backlog. Option 3, return and rebuild. India's job market is booming. Remote salaries, startup hungry for the global talent, or your own entrepreneur journey. No visa limits your potential here. Every day, every year you delay, the backlog grows. Your kids get older, opportunities pass. Today, commit to one action. The cage is only real if you let it be. If the video resonated to you, share it with your friends, leave a comment below. You are not alone and your story matters. Subscribe and hit the bell icon